In the last lectures, we have discussed what is software engineering, what are different aspects of software engineering, different software developmental models we have discussed, what are different key roles of different team members in software engineering, and why we had to study software engineering. All of these things we have discussed in the previous lecture. In today's lecture, we will understand some key aspects of software engineering, like what is software engineering practice, what is the multidisciplinary nature of software development, and we will see what is the structure of software engineering team. So this will be the topics of discussion for today. Starting from the software engineering practice. So if you are practicing, like if you are practicing as a software engineer, then what kind of things you should keep in your mind? What are some general terms you should aware of? Like the tasks. In general, we know that if we perform a specific action or work or a challenge that we have to accomplish is known as a task within a given time frame. For example, I assign you a task to complete an assignment within 3 days. So that will be your task, that you have to complete a specific work in a given time frame. Okay. So the different tasks can be widely in the scope, like different range of complexities, how difficult that challenge will be for you. It can be ranged from routine activities, means whether it is more complex projects or assignments. So depending on the complexity of tasks, the time will be given. Then analysis. Now, in software engineering, the analysis refers to the process. In analysis means we will observe that process, that how we are going to, for example, if there is a complex software development task, like you have to design and you can say Android application or whether it is a web application for a specific organization. And the features that client wants may be little bit complex. So this is your task that you have to complete within 6 months. Let's suppose that client want you to complete that within 6 months. Okay. So first of all, what you will do, you will break down that into smaller manageable units. First of all, you will understand what is that. What are the requirements? What are the rules, dependencies, everything. You will learn each and everything related to that task. Means you will do a bit research on that. What kind of plan should I need? What kind of implementation can be used there? And how I will coordinate with my development team. This is how you will do the analysis. Now you have done. So in the analysis phase, we have different things. How we do the analysis of a software project. First step. Now you have to develop an software for, let's suppose if we take in simple words, if we take a more simple example, you want to build a library management system. Now what will be your first step? You will do the requirement analysis. What things you need for that project to begin? Like you need to understand everything from your stakeholders. Here, the stakeholders can be your end user, your client, your team members. Okay. Then what the storage you should define, the use cases, everything. So if we understand with an example, like we are developing an library management system. So what will be the requirements? You want to know how many books, how many kind of different books you have to include there. You want to know how these students will access or issue that book, what will be the return policy for the book, and if the student return that book late, what will be the charges or penalties that they have to pay. So there will be different things. So there will be different requirements. So you will discuss that with your stakeholders. So in requirement analysis phase, before planning, you will understand what are the requirements that I have to need. So you will collect all of them. Then you will decompose that. Now you have understand the requirements, means for the library management system, I need these things. This kind of database is required. This kind of information related to books is required. Information related to librarian is required. Librarian information is also very important. Who will be the librarian? You have to design a dashboard for that. You have to design the dashboard for the end user. So that will be the requirements. You know that these are my requirements and I need them from this stakeholder. Then you will decompose that, means into smaller units. You will break down the features. Like for example, you will say that in the first unit, I will complete the database for the different types of books. Then I will, in the second unit, I will create a dashboard for the user. Then I will create the or develop the dashboard for the admin. Then the return policies or the issue policies, whatever you have to do the adjustment, you will decompose into smaller units. Then you will estimate. Now you have the requirements. You have decomposed that. You know that how many units will be required there. So you will know, you have to estimate the time, means how much time will be taken to complete that project, how many efforts you have to put in that, what are the resources that are need to complete each task, the developers and the project manager, everything you do that in your estimation phase. Then dependency analysis, means you have to identify what are the dependencies for that, such as what will be the prerequisites, means that here the dependency, like if we take the same library management system, the prerequisite must be that user should have account before logging in or issuing any book. So that will be the prerequisite. So you will define a strategy to create that account, a logic for that. So that will be the dependency. So you will define all of the dependencies. You will plan that so that you can execute the task. Then the second step here will be the assignment and prioritization, means you will identify that which individual developer you have to assign which tasks and which you can say tasks will be given more priority here. So like if we take that same library management system, the priority tasks can be that the arrangement of different types of books, then the user account, the admin account, the dashboard, that can be different priorities. So according to the role, you will define different priorities. Now, after that, we have tracking and monitoring. So throughout the software development, you have to track and monitor the progress of the each task, whether the team members are working properly or not, whether your project is going towards the progress or not, if the resources are fulfilled or not, you have provided them properly all the resources, how you have done your resource allocation. So you will check all of that. So any question till now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. After that, iteration and refinement. Now you have track and monitor everything. Now you have to refine that, and if there is any iteration required, like you will continuously review your project process. If you remember in the last lecture, I told you that nowadays mostly agile software development techniques are mostly used. So in the iterative manner, we try to complete our softwares or projects. So on the basis of feedback, if there is any iteration or refinement needed, so we will do them. So this is the overall task analysis that plays a critical role in software engineering. So it will provide you a structured approach, how you will plan, how you will organize, or how you will execute your software development tasks. So these are the phases. First of all, in the first phase, you will understand what I want. Means what are the things that I want from that project. Then we will do the analysis. Means what are the things that can be used So we will do that analysis. What are the things that you needed? You will design them. If the design is not accepted, you will again create a prototype for that. Then you will implement and deploy that. So in this way, these are all the phases that take place in the task analysis. Then we have design tasks. Here in the design tasks, now the first was the analysis. Here we have seen that analysis. Now after analysis, we have to design them. So in the design tasks, you will do the requirement analysis, means you will understand the requirement by gathering the information from the stakeholders. You will analyze their user needs, define the scope, why we need that project. So you have already done that requirements. Now in design phase, the second is the task identification. Means here you break down your project requirements. I told you that in the previous phase, in the analysis phase, first of all, we will identify that project. Then according to that, we will see which tasks required more time. So we will work on that. Then we will decompose the tasks as I mentioned before. And then we will check if there is any dependencies just like before, and we work on them. Then we need some estimation, means how many time, what kind of resources are needed to complete the tasks. Okay. Then the task assignment. So we will assign the tasks to each individual team members according to their skills. For example, if we are developing the library management system, so for designing the UI, we will assign the if we want to design the logos and different kind of characters for that library management system, so we will assign the task to the graphic designer. The UI designer will design the front end. The backend developer will do the backend logic. The front end developer will design the front end of that website or Android app, whatever it is. So on the basis of that, we will assign them. Then prioritization means which task should be more focused, which is more important to complete on time. So according to that milestone, we will try to complete that. Then time scheduling means here time scheduling is very important. Means how much time a task will take to execute, taking in account task dependencies, resource availability, project deadline. So this is how you will check all of that. Means when your project is going to meet the deadline, when you are going to complete each and every task, whether the time is sufficient for complete the task or not. Then you will monitor that task, whether it is going towards the progress or not. Similarly, in the previous one, then if there is any refinement or adjustment needed, you will do that. And then we will go towards our next phase, that is the implementation phase. Now, the first phase was the analysis. The second was the design. Now, the design is ready. The third is the implementation. Means here you have to write the code for that product. You have to decide which programming language you prefer for that. If you want Java, you want Python, JavaScript, C++. So according to your need, you will write a code to implement your tasks. Then you will do different testings, like you will do after writing your code, you have to test whether each and every unit is working properly or not. I told you that in software engineering, we will study different types of testings. So after writing the code, we have to test that whether our code is working properly or not. So if you remember, I told you that we decompose the project into smaller units. So for testing each and every smaller unit, we use unit testing. Means to check whether the individual module or the component is working well or not. We will verify the correctness, means the code is correct, it is properly isolated, it is behaving as expected, and it meets the intended functionalities. Or for example, like we want a unit, for example, we have developed a unit that will successfully allows the user to create the account. The user can easily create the account and log in to that to their dashboard. So we will test that. So that will be a unit that you will perform testing. Then integration testing means how now we develop the units separately. We want to merge them. We want to integrate them together. So after integrate each and every unit together, you will check whether the integration is successful or not. If there is any bug, whether when you have integrated all the small units to form a larger component, they are working as expected or not. So that is the integration testing. Then we have another form of testing is the system testing. Now you have performed the individual testing, you have performed the integration testing. Your software is completed. So as a whole, you will test your complete software. You will check whether my system or the software meets the specific requirements of the individual or not. So after doing all of this testing, your project or product, you will then debug. During testing, if there is any error or bug, the maintenance team, the developer team will identify that and try to fix any, if there is any bug in the code, if there is any issue in the code. So they will try to fix that. Then after that, documentation. What is documentation? Documentation is the user manual or guide that contains the instructions how to use that software. For example, if we want to learn a new language, so we go to different websites or documentations, we visit how to learn that. So let me show you a documentation so you can have idea how a documentation will look like. So just a minute. You can see this is the documentation of most used web development scripting language, JavaScript. So if somebody wants to learn, so you can see that they have provided different tutorials like complete beginner guides, how you will learn the basics. So you can scroll down and visit this. What is this language? How you will, even they have provided different code snippets. You can use that to learn. Everything is mentioned here. Then how you will publish your own website. There are also options here. You can also, or you can purchase a domain name and hosting. Everything is available on this documentation. Here even how you will structure your web, like how if you want to learn HTML, you can go there. You can also learn from this documentation. Even if you want to style you can learn this. And if you want to learn the dynamic JavaScript, so everything is mentioned in this. You want to learn some server-side programming language, it is also available. So everything is available here. So this is how a documentation looks like. So whenever we create a software, we develop some software for the easiness for the end user, we create documentations. Then version control. Mostly Git is used for version controlling. So if there is any change, they are committed completely to Git to track their revisions, to collaborate with the other team members. Then in the implementation phase, we will review the code. Means if there is any problem, if there is any change required, so you will review your code there. So if you have any questions till now, let me know. Okay, that was our first topic of discussion. What are the different points or phases that are included in software engineering practice? What things that we have to observe or take care? What steps we should follow in the development phase? Now, the second point. Our second topic is the multidisciplinary nature of software development. Means what kind of software development or business information are there, how it changes its nature, and how we deal with that. Now, in software development and business information, these two things are totally and closely intertwined with each other. because the businesses relies on software application nowadays. Now, if you remember, if you observe, each and every business organization have their own website or the Android application or another application or mobile application in simple words. Every business organization have their different internet or social media contacts. So software development and we can say that business world, they both are related with each other. Now, we as a software engineer, if we're working as a software engineer, we provide custom software solution. Means what are the custom solutions according to the requirement of the business, according to the requirement of the client, we try to create or develop that software. For example, there is an organization that wants software for their business like that. That if we take a simple coffee shop, it is a simple coffee shop, and they want a software that can have the record of their items, inventory items, that can keep the record of their sales, that can enter new customers, that can manage or calculate the bills. So this is the small software they want for their small coffee shop business. So that is, we can say that is a customized software they want from you. So you will develop that. So we have different types of software. We have different types of application software. Some softwares are not customized, like MS Office. It is not customized according to the need of the user. It contains the features that everyone can use. If someone wants some customized suite, then they can visit or reach to a software developer and request them to do that for them. So these are some customized software that you can build for your customers. Then we have another type of software that are enterprise resource planning systems. Now, what are they? Now, for example, the softwares that are requested from you, like for accounting, for business resources, for inventory management, for CRM, like customer relationship management. So they want different kinds of software for different purposes. So for handling the affairs of enterprise, they require different softwares into a single platform. They want a software that can manage their accounts, that can handle the human resource department affairs, that can also manage their inventory as well as their relationship with customers. They want everything into one software. And then that software collectively will call the enterprise resource planning system. Then we have another type of system that is data management and analytics. You want to know how many customers you are dealing with daily. You want to check your sales record. You want to check how many sales were made in the previous years, how many loss I had faced in this years, how many profit I had gained. You want all of that. For managing that data and to do the analysis of that, we need a software. That kind of softwares are called data management and analytics software. So you can reach out to a developer to create such kind of data management systems, to collect your data, to store your data, to analyze your data, to visualize your data, so that you can make better decisions on the basis of that data. We have another type of software that is the customer relationship management. Understand all of these types of software very carefully, because these terms can be used in different subjects. So it will be better. So if you will understand all of these terms. Then we have another types of software that is the CR. Now, you want to check whether your customer is satisfied with you. You want a software that can give you the real-time feedback of the customer. You want a software that can track your sales activities, whether your number of customers are improved or not, what kind of feedback they are giving according to your product. So if you want all of these things, then we have this type of software that is called customer relationship software management. So the purpose of this software is to handle all the affairs of your customers, to check their activities, their sales record, to see how many sales are there, to check the automated sales process. We can use that. Then we have the most widely and most commonly used software, that is the e-commerce platform, mostly used by the retail business, that they, if they want to expand their products internationally, then they sell their products and services online. So different developers, they reach out different developers, so they can build e-commerce website for them that can provide different features like product catalogs. They can manage the shopping carts functionality, a secure payment process, or order fulfillment. So this is another kind of software. So these are the different natures of a software, how a software can be transformed into different types. Then we have BI tools, means business intelligence tools. The tools that can be helpful in the business, like to check the performance of the uh, your organization, to check what is the trends, what are the opportunities, to generate the reports automatically. Then we have another time mobile application that is also most widely used. So that your employees, if we talk about in the terms of business, can access the data, that can perform the tasks or the operation through the mobile phones. So the software developers can design and develop the mobile apps for different purpose, such as to check the employees' productivity, to monitor their progress. You build an Android app. So these are the different types or nature of the software, how it changes day by day. If we want to integrate a third party system, means for the payment gateways, like if the user wants to pay through debit or credit card, different gateways are there. So what kind of payment gateways you are providing them? So in overall, we can say that this is how the software development industry is helping the business to manage their information, to optimize their process, to drive the growth and innovation, all about that. Okay. So these are different types of softwares that are mostly built. Hope so it is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Then we have discussed this already. We have, if we talk about the softwares that are related to organization, if we see the aspects of the system development related to the organization, then what are the things that should be included? First is the planning. How you're going to plan your projects, your organization, how you need to align it with your IT intuitives, means how, what are your intuitions related to your business strategies, how to define your clear objectives, your priorities, everything you will discuss in the planning. Then project management is very important in your IT company, means how effectively you manage your projects. It can include your project scope, how you allocate resources to each and every individual developer, how you're going to establish a timeline, how you are going to manage your budget. If there is any risk, how you will migrate that risk, how you will overcome that, how you are going to complete your project in time. So that is all we studied in project management. So it is a complete subject. How, what are different techniques and softwares if someone wants to be a project manager, then what techniques they should study to be a good project manager. Then we have stakeholder engagement, means how you engage your stakeholders throughout your system development. Your stakeholders can be your IT staff. Third topic for the discussion is structure of software engineering team, means how we structure our team in software engineering. What is a programming team, first of all? Team refers to the group of individuals that collaborate to develop a software solution. It can consist of the programmers, the developers, the engineers, or other professionals that works together to design, to code, to test, and to deploy the software application. Now here, we will discuss their roles and responsibilities, how they collaborate with each other, what are different types of team members. So in programming team, it includes different roles and responsibilities. Like there will be a software developer, a front-end developer, a back-end developer, a quality assurance engineer, network engineer. So these are the different roles that will be assigned according to their skill expertise in software development process. Then collaboration. Collaboration is very important. How they collaborate closely with each other. There should be a regular communication between the front end and the back end engineer, how they are going to share their ideas. There should be a coordination between the designers and the developers, between the quality assurance engineers, everyone, so that they can work together and they can work effectively with each other. Then in programming team, task allocation is very important. Means according to each team member, according to their skills. For example, if a person have good front-end skills, then you will assign them to design or develop the front-end. If a person is a good designer, then he is going to design that website. So according to their availability, their experience, their skills, you will allocate tasks. Then code review. Now, it is a very common practice in programming team where the code of the junior developers are reviewed by the senior team members to check the correctness of code, to check the quality of the code, if the code meets their standards or not. If there is any bug, you will identify that bug, you will improve that. Okay. Then version controlling is very important. Means Git is mostly used for version controlling. For example, if you want to launch a new version, if you want to make any change, then you can go with the GitHub to make that change. Then agile methodologies, we know that agile is mostly used nowadays. Which agile methodologies you are going to follow, whether it's Scrum or Kanban? So it depends upon you that which, according to the nature of the software, which methodology you are going to follow. Then continuous integration and deployment. Means programming team mostly implements CI and CD, means continuous integration and continuous deployment. So it is a pipelining process. Means continuously you have to integrate modules with each other, and consistently you should be consistent in deploying each and every module. You will build, you will test, you will deploy, and you will repeat this process until you complete the whole system. You will share your knowledge, means you will share your idea with among with your other team members. You will discuss your code. You will learn all of everything about each other, that what they have learned from you, what you have learned from them. So you also prefer pair programming, means two-person will try to write the code with the help of each other. Then there are different roles in the software engineering. First is the software developer. It is the person who can also design, who can test, who can maintain the software. So they should be proficient in programming language. If you want to be a software developer, then you should be a good grip on the software programming languages, the frameworks, how you will closely work with your stakeholders. Then we have quality assurance engineers. Means to ensure the quality of your program, you will require that person. They will test your software application to ensure that whether they meet your standards or not. You will create a test plan. You will execute different test cases for that. Then we have a system analysis. Now, the responsibility of this person is to analyze your business requirements, to see your user need, design, whether you have to deploy the software solutions or not. So you will gather and document the requirements. You create different feasibility studies. What is feasibility study? In feasibility study, we will do the analysis whether we are going to complete this project or not. Is it possible to complete this project or not? So we check all of these things in the feasibility study. Then we have technical architect. Now, the responsibility of this person is to define all the technical requirements, means which technology or framework is needed, how you're going to complete it, how you're going to make your system scalable, secure, how you are going to maintain your system. So these are all the responsibilities that comes under the technical architect. Then we have developer or engineers. Now, developers or engineer focus on the automating and streamlining software development. Means there are some things that you want to automate. Automation means the some work will be performed automatically. Means we want a continuous deployment and integration. So to manage that pipeline and monitor the optimization of the system, we need that person. Then we have another person who is the database administrator, means the person who is responsible for designing your database, the person who is needed to create your database, to connect your database with your application. Then we have UX designers, means to enhance the user experience, how the user is going to interact with the application. This person is responsible for that. He will create designs that makes the end user satisfied. Now in software engineering, we have different tasks we have already learned. So just a quick review. First of all, you will do the requirement analysis, means you will gather the requirement. Then you will design your system. I have told you about that. You will debug the system. Then after that, what we do? We will write the documentation. What is documentation? A user manual that will help the user to understand how to use that application. Then for version controlling, if we want to make any change, we use Git to control the versions of the software. Then we will deploy the software. We will release it to the end user to ensure that it is smooth and successful. Then after that, we will maintain that software. So if you have any questions, let me know. No. Okay. So today we have discussed 3 points. We see the software engineering practice where we have discussed the tasks, task analysis. Then we had seen the multidisciplinary nature of the softwares. Means here we discussed the different types of softwares. Then we have checked out the structure of software engineering team. Means what kind of roles are there, what kind of experts are there in the software engineering. So that was all about today's lecture.